That means, you'll see, we all know about seamless patterns, correct? We did that with the stripe, meaning we knew how to repeat, correct? And that's how to repeat it infinitely, seamlessly. In other words, no gaps in between the pattern. We are gonna create our own pattern today. Now, you can reference your mood page. That's what I would like. And this is my mood page, correct? Now, I have my sketches. Why am I giving you 3 sketches? Because I want you to play with scale. I also need you to understand one thing about prints. Prints are not the same scale from a pant to a top or to a dress. Think about it. If I have a tiny stripe in a dress, it's not gonna look as good if it was a top, correct? It just looks weird. It's all about scale, how long the print is. So that's why I'm giving you the good news. Everything is already sketched. Look, separated. Everything's separated, guys. For you to play with it. Colors, prints, your prints. I want you to start doing prints. So for the homework, it's not so much that you need to sketch something. I need you to do prints and put it somewhere, anywhere. You can even take these patterns and maybe change it to a skirt. I don't necessarily mind if you take some of my sketches and revise it, as long as it doesn't look like what I'm giving you. Okay? It cannot look exactly the same. At least change the sleeves, change the length. I want you to get used to revising sketches too. Okay? Because most of the time, if you build a library of your own, usually you can go back and just use the body that you did maybe like whenever, and then you just revise it to what you need. So that being said, I'm gonna start a beautiful repeat. And I am liking this pattern a lot, correct? You see this right here? So I'm gonna bring it to Illustrator. You can actually, with Max, you can drop it inside, like drop. And it does it. With PCs, you need to do this. You need to click on the layer. Oh, sorry. Where are you? You need to click on the layer that you need, and it says layer 5, correct? You go to you go to layer, and you put quick export as PNG. And it's gonna export it as a PNG. Everyone knows what's a PNG. That means a transparent layer. It has a scale, and it's a pretty good resolution. It's already done. Once you do that, then you go to Illustrator, you go to File, you go to Place, you go to wherever you save that PNG, that's where it is, and just place it. Ta-da. You see the difference though. So, okay, so that's perfect. Now, one thing I never explained to you guys is, what does that X mean? Does anyone know what the blue X means? That means it's linked. It is not permanently in your file, it is linked. Has anyone opened a file and it has given you a little notice like, we cannot find this image because it's not linked properly? You know what that means? It's because you linked it. So basically, if I were to give you this file, you guys, and you will open it, this image that with the blue X will say it's linked. We cannot preview it correctly because you don't have the file in your computer. You might have the file, but you don't have it in the same spot that I created it from. Now you get it. That's why it's a little annoying to do links. Now, if you're doing links because the file is like super huge, understandable, because you're working on your own. But if you're sending files to people and they're only linked, they're not gonna find a lot of those pictures. So you have to be very careful. So how do we avoid this? So now we have the X. We go to object, we're gonna rasterize it. Rasterize it means we're gonna flatten it. And this is for Illustrator. Okay, we rasterize it, and we're gonna click 300 ppi, not white because I need transparent. I'm gonna put transparent. I'm gonna put OK, and it's gonna do it. Look, the X came off. Now you understand what I mean by X? That X means linked. It's not permanently your file. Once you rasterize it, your file might be bigger, but it depends what you're doing. For a repeat, this way we make sure that it's done correctly. Try not to link things. Just rasterize it, okay? Of course, Pansy, let's do it one more time. So this is linked. We go to Object, we go to Rasterize, right here. Click on Rasterize. Make sure it's RGB. Don't do bitmap. You know what bitmap is? It's gonna make it all pixelated in Illustrator. Illustrator is not very good. So just do when it comes to images. So just be careful with that. So just RGB, high 300 ppi, sorry, that's points per inch, and then transparent, and put OK. And just wait, and it will do it. You see, it removed it. Once you don't see that X, that means it's not linked anymore. Perfect. This is the fun part. I'm gonna do a really quick one. You guys will do. Okay, so I am gonna, because mine's 70s, I love this fan. Maybe I do paillettes. Paillettes, by the way, those big sequins are called paillettes. Anything with a sequence that has the little hole on top, not the center, and it's really big and it's hanging, that's a paillette. That's not a sequence. It's different types. Okay, so we go here. And now I'm like, you know what? Maybe I want little paillettes going around. I'm putting circles in it. Maybe I also want to use gradients. You do what you want for your print, okay? I am not gonna tell you what to do for your print. I just need a repeat. I need to see it in a repeat in a body. So I am basing it on my beautiful color story. Same thing with the color stories. Remember how we just drag it in and we use the eyedrop? We can do that here too. So maybe I want this to drag in too. If you have a PC, please use the same way that I told you. Use even screenshot it and just drag it in if it's easier for you guys. So same thing. Sometimes this is not linked. This is good. This was placed. You see that? This is good. Sometimes it's linked. So what happens with the computer is like if it's a big, really big file, it's just automatically it's gonna link it. This was not a big file, so it's just rasterized it for us already. Okay? Yeah, so don't worry, we're gonna do it. So I'm just gonna click on the things that I wanna do. And why am I'm creating elements right now for my print. So we go to View, we go to Windows. I want it to be rich. I want gradients. I think everyone knows I'm not minimalistic, I'm a maximalist. So we go into here, and let's see, we go to, if we want a gradient, we go to Windows, we go to Swatch Libraries, we go to Gradients. Also, you have other colors of gradients too, just play with it. But I need metals. So here is my gold metal. Oh, perfect. And maybe we just play with it. We just make it bigger. Okay. I maybe copy this again and rotate it. Look what that's going out. Ooh, right? So I'm doing a really quick one. So then maybe I change different circles here. I'm basing this on my page. So maybe I change it to a different thing. Okay. So now, this is where the magic happens. Make sure to save, always click save, guys. I'm gonna select all of my artwork, correct? Look, I selected everything. I'm gonna go to Object, Pattern. Sorry, I'm gonna go to Repeat. So Object, Repeat options. You can check this out. Radial grid, no grid. Okay. What does that mean? I just made a pattern. Oh, sorry. I just made a pattern already. Hold on a second. We're gonna select all of it again. Sorry. We're gonna do, once again, we're gonna do pattern. We're gonna do make pattern. Ta-da! It does it for us. That's what I meant. Okay. You want me to do it again? Yeah. Okay. It's really fast. You select whatever you're working on, bless you. Correct? Whatever element you're doing, select it. All of them at once, bless you. Go to object. Go to pattern. Make pattern. And don't worry. And it's already added in the swatch panel. You see the difference here? You see how my patterns are? But that doesn't mean I cannot go and move it. Look, it moves it instantly. You see that? So now I can really play with my pattern. Maybe I want this to be bigger and I want this to be an opacity of, I don't know. Let's see. I want this to blend in. So you can go into opacity on top and you can color burn, much cooler. You can do whatever you want, guys. Look, lighten it. It looks more interesting. Maybe I don't want a white background. So you match that triangle and change it. I think I want like a pinkish. I don't know, actually let's do like a thing. Do you see the difference now? Everything's done for me automatically in Illustrator, okay? And not only that, I can drop it, I can move it. Maybe I want another one of these. I can go, if you see the difference? I'm working within the repeat. You see this pops out, that means I'm inside the repeat, okay? And once I do that, I can even change it even more. Oh, that looks more interesting. Okay, so once I'm done, I put done. And it disappears. No, it didn't, because remember how we said that it will be created here on your swatches, correct? So now you'll see it. You click on the body, and I'm gonna click on this one. Done. That's my print. Same rules apply. I can make it smaller. How we did that last week. If we double click on scale right here, that has the little squares, I only click on transform patterns, only, make sure it's only transform patterns. We can do 50%. And sometimes it does, sometimes it does. No, it doesn't want to do it right now. But if that's the case, there's another way to do it, because sometimes Illustrator, I think everyone noticed, Illustrator is glitchy. When it doesn't feel like doing something, you need to find another way. So what you can do is just draw a circle, a square or whatever, and just reduce it yourself. Click on this, on what you need, and just eyedrop it, done. That's another way of doing it, because sometimes Illustrator it just has an issue with doing things sometimes, because the RAM might not be there or whatnot. Same thing, I don't like how this print is placed right now here. I don't. So what I'm gonna do, I press my tilt button that's on top of your tab, and then, yep, and look at this. I changed it. I moved it. Done. So, yes, so you see, I make sure that I'm on my direct selection tool, click on the object that I need, press tilt, which is right on top of my tab key, and drag it. Drag up or down or whatnot. I like this one. That makes me happy. Thank you. That's what I thought too. So That's where we're gonna leave it off with Illustrator Repeat. You can draw if you want. I'm gonna introduce a new tool today. The new tool is pencil. If you guys just wanna do little flowers all day and just draw it, that's the pencil tool. It's a lot easier. This is just more freehand. You don't have to do so perfectly with the pen. So let's just say I just want waves. I just want waves, and I just want this to make it a repeat. Then you do that with a pencil. But you notice that sometimes I might make a new line and corrects it. It does that too. So you have to be careful about selecting and deselecting. This part, I'll repeat again with the homework. I just want a print in one of your sketches. That's all. In one of your, even one of these, I don't care. Just as long, it's done. I just want a print you created based on your collection. This is how we do in Illustrator. Illustrator print is very straightforward. You notice it's just a square repeat. It does it for you. Now, let's just say, oh no, I don't like this. I think it needs to be done again. You double click on your pattern in your swatch tool, and pops up the original. And you can even change it. Again, maybe I want this bigger. Look at that. Done. Put done. And that's already revised too. Okay? It's very automated now. When I started, this was not it. Okay, so there you go. Please